case we have done some advertisement, there is some repair maintenance, there is some housekeeping services. On those services we would have paid service tax. So now all those service tax which we have paid can be taken as credit, which was earlier taken as a part of our cost of operation. It not only improve our profitability but also improve our cash flow, because we would be required to pay lesser amount of service tax to government, because we can adjust whatever we have paid to our vendor. So effectively there will be lesser outflow on account of service tax to government. If we see in brief what are the provisions which may be applicable for hotel industry, these are the Finance Act, valuation rules, Senvet credit rules, place of provision of service rules, exemption notification, abatement notification, reverse charge notification. Whenever we are analyzing any law related to service tax, we need to take care of all those things so that we can properly structure our transaction for optimum tax planning. In new law, there is a major change that the word service is defined for the first time, which was not there earlier under old law. So now if you do any activity for consideration, it is considered as service. So wherever there is any consideration flowing from one person to another, by default it is construed that it is a transaction or it is a service transaction, which if not otherwise covered by some negative list item, it will be liable to service tax. So there may be many items which we as a hotelier earlier were recovering from the client, but we were not charging service tax because those were not specifically included. But now whatever consideration we are recovering from client, that will be liable to service tax, except the cases where there is merely sale of goods or when there is merely transfer of immovable property. If we compare the provision under new regime vis-a-vis old regime, we find that in room rental cases, earlier service tax was payable on 50% of amount charged, while there was no benefit of input stays credit, which I discussed earlier. Now under new law, that 50% amount has been increased to 60%, but major respite by providing Senvet benefit. Senvet means input stays credit benefit on input service. But here we need to be a little bit precautious that credit is allowed only on input service, not excise duty paid on any inputs and capital goods. Still those items continues to be forming part of our cost of operation. There may be another option that we don't take benefit of abatement and we charge service tax on the whole amount by taking benefit from input side. Only thing we need to take care here is that what constitute input service, which government has provided credit on input service, but there is very tricky definition of input service. So before taking any credit, we need to properly analyze whether that transaction is falling in the definition of input service or not. For example, there is a construction of new hotel and in that thing the vendor is charging huge amount of service tax, but that construction is specifically excluded from the definition of input service and credit for that cannot be taken. This construction also does not form part of capital goods as per service tax law, even though it may be capital goods under other different laws. So all those items where we are paying service tax still continues to be our cost. Second kind of transaction which usually occur in hospitality sector is hall plus catering, wherein earlier tax was payable on 60% amount, now it will be paid on 70% amount. But here credit is available on input services and capital goods. So if we see distinction between earlier entry and this entry, earlier credit was available only on input service, now on input service and capital goods. So where input means any actual material which we are using in the course of providing our services. But one thing that need to be noted is tax should be paid on total amount charged to the client and how that total amount should be calculated. Sometimes what happens, client gives us free supply of material. For that, if he would have not given that free supply, we would have charged that amount to client. Now what does the rule says? If you are getting any free supply or concessional supply from client, you need to take market value of that free supply and on that also you need to charge service tax. So here we have to be very careful. Another thing which is a major introduction in new law is concept of bundled services, which is also very much prevalent in our industry. Naturally, concept of bundled service is applicable when composite services of one or more natures are provided together. So here services may be naturally bundled or it may not be naturally bundled. Naturally bundled in the sense that services, whenever there is a transaction between parties, they have intention that all the element of that services would be offered as a single package. There is general practice prevalent in the industry that those kind of facilities are provided as a package. So if all the different services within that bundle are naturally bundled, then that character will be of service tax will be applicable, that is applicable for that entire bundle. In case not naturally bundled, then tax rate would be applicable of highest rate among those items which are constituting that bundle. For example, room rental, where we may be providing service of fitness center and spa, all these things. So if we are projecting it as a accommodation service, then we will be liable to pay tax on that accommodation category, not as a separate item for each of the item constituted within that category. But if we charge them separately, then we have to apply separate rate for each of the element of our services. Next is restaurant. In restaurant industry, earlier service tax was payable on 30% of amount charged. Now it would be on the 40% of total amount. Again, the benefit of input services and capital goods can be taken by the service provider. Specific revenue, if we see the restaurant in different condition, then if we examine that if a restaurant is having AC and license to serve liquor, then serving of food will be liable to tax. Even if the cases where restaurant is having AC and license to serve liquor but not using the AC, still it would be taxable. However, where restaurant is not having facility of both AC and liquor license, then it would not be taxable. Here again, free home of delivery of food, which was earlier not taxable, has been made taxable. Another entry which is relevant for service tax law is outdoor catering, wherein in outdoor catering cases where earlier tax was payable on 50% of the amount charged, now tax would be payable on 60% of the amount with all the same criteria which we had discussed earlier. So the concept of bundled services which we had discussed, we have to be very careful while structuring our transaction. So sometime we need to take care of implication of both of VAT laws and service tax law, whereby we can say sometime we are providing convention center facility. So there we can split our transaction in the renting transaction and food transaction. So on renting transaction, there will be service tax at full rate, but there will not be any VAT liability. So ultimately we need to optimize and structure the transaction in such a manner that overall cost burden decreases for the ultimate consumer. There are taxability of certain other income which may be relevant for hotel industries, services of betting and gambling, not taxable, like other thing, cycle hire charges, that is liable to VAT, money changing liable to service tax, selling of space to tour operator for displaying their banner, not taxable because this is specifically covered by negative list. Another concept which has been introduced in this budget was reverse charge, wherein liability to pay service tax was on the service receiver, not on the service provider. And the recent addition to this entry has been bonus or commission paid to directors. So if a company is paying any commission bonus to directors, company need to pay service tax on that thing, even though it is income of the director. So these are the list wherein we have to discharge our liability as a service receiver, not as a service provider. So in those situations, business have to be very careful. It is also increasing compliance cost for the business, because in case any omission in this part may attract action by the department which may be unfavorable to the company. In this backdrop, if we examine and if we see the GST. Okay, thank you.
In respect of time, we are not going to take any questions, but at the same time, we all are available for questions after the sessions are over. Please, thank you for respecting our request.